let's move to the first slide. And because of the uncertainty more recently in the market,
I mean, you were an engineering geek. You had to like Star Wars.
It's fair. It's true. Yeah, it's true. We had jobs report this morning. Came in really good and shows no real material impact from the Fed. So but it's likely still gonna make the Fed say we're not changing rates anytime soon. GDP we also had this week. I can't believe I'm talking about GDP, but look, it moved the market. Market was down big the morning GDP came out because it shrank for the first time since 2022. And then we also had inflation data that showed inflation accelerated. So now people are talking about stagflation again. We also had a lot of earnings. Of course, the big ones this week were we had Meta and Microsoft, and they both reported better than expected and didn't really have any issues with tariffs. A little bit different on the other side. Today, last night, we had Amazon and Apple. Amazon gave a weak forecast. The stock was offered after the close and saying that they might have some pullback in spending. And Apple, similar deal, had good earnings, but look, we all know that the big thing with them is that they have all these plants in all these places that are getting hit with tariffs, and there's no chance they're going to bring all their business to the U.S. So who knows how this is going to go with them? And I feel like the stock was offered there after earnings. Dollar for the second week in a row is positive, and gold has pulled back big time now, 8% off the highs, although I saw it was a little bit bid this morning. And then you got VIX futures. Out of all of this, market had a big rally this week. Gold pulled back. VIX futures is still in backwardation, at least as of now, and fifth straight week that's done that, and VVIX is still over 100. So there's a lot going on.
It's an interesting time to be alive. Interesting time to be a trader.
100%. Let's move to the next slide. So I always like looking at this. It's a funky thing, and I got to explain it. But this is the difference between VIX and historical vol. So immediately they'll let you know what's going on here. Historical vol obviously has been moving crazy because we've been moving crazy. This is the 5-year low of this metric, the volatility risk premium. The last time we saw it look like this was during COVID, when obviously vol was high, but things were moving around a lot. And so that's kind of the deal here. The swings have calmed down. We don't have 190, 200 point swings. They're more like 70 to 80, but you get the picture. Let's move to the next slide. So things are pulling back. Markets are coming up, and we got correlation, 1 month correlation. Of course, I mean, things were obviously getting sold off all at once, except for gold, I guess. But things are calming down. We see VIX pulling back, so we see 1 month correlation pulling back, and I mean, you would have to assume today, if we're getting up to 5,700 at this point, which, I mean, dude, last Monday we were at 5,100. Today we're at 5,700. Big moves in markets, and things have calmed down. But like I said, we're still in backwardation as of last night. We'll see what today. I don't know if after this rally we get to 5,700, maybe backwardation goes away, but we'll see. But things are starting to calm down. Again, this was at a 6-month high, of course, from that sell-off we had in August, and now it's calming down. Next slide, please. Treasury yields are, they've been all over the place. Liberation Day, after that, we saw them go sky high. We saw the 10-year at about 4.5%. And since that time period, they started steadily falling. At this point, I know they jumped a little bit yesterday, which was kind of strange. Yesterday was weird. I mean, we had a big move up. Bonds were down. Gold was down. It just didn't really. It was so strange yesterday. I don't know what today's going to be like. We'll see. But yields have pulled back quite a bit, and we'll see if they end up staying down. We'll see.
I'm trying to buy bonds. I really want them to get under 115. Amazingly, they're 115.02 right now. So they're right there.
Yeah, that's kind of where they were yesterday too, right?
Well, yeah, but remember they almost traded up to 117.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and then they got sold off. True.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, all over. Let's move to the last slide. So like I said, many of these companies have refrain from giving full year guidance because they just don't know how the tariffs are going to affect their business. Obviously, car companies, airline companies have been the main ones, and a few retail, etc. Novo Nordisk is offering Wegovy through telehealth providers. Hims took off this week. Roe and LifeMD, I don't think have stocks, not that I'm aware of anyway, or who their providers are. But again, there was a shortage of Wegovy for the longest time, and now they're sending it out to telehealth providers. Hopefully, that brings the prices down, etc. Temu is passing virtually all of its costs from Trump tariffs onto the customers. What else are they going to do? Amazon is probably going to do the same thing. And then next week, it just is beginning, folks. FOMC meeting is going to be next Wednesday. That's the big thing we got going on for the week. April 29th, OJ, how reliable is Theta was a pretty good research thing. Check it out.
See that, Sosnoff? Did you check it out on the 29th?
I did it.